Fellow Americans, I ask you this. What draws more pity from you? The impoverished in Africa or the homeless man in the street corner? These are both tragedies. However, people often express more sympathy for those in third world countries. These same people use three primary reasons, or so-called facts, to not only avoid helping those in foreign lands, but also to justify their negligence of the local homeless population. They claim they can't have a large enough effect on someone so far away. To avoid helping the local less fortunate, people often claim they barely have enough to support themselves, let alone the man in the corner, and that he was probably some lazy substance abuser. I, however, was not convinced of these so-called facts, so I decided to find out firsthand by interviewing the temporarily housed at the Salvation Army.
My name is Ed Parrott, and I'm staying here right now, homeless, at the shelter for Salvation Army.
My name is David Dinovich, and I'm 56 years of age, and I'm homeless.
Now, Ed, thank you for being able to speak with us here. Could I just ask with you by maybe sharing the story, how did you end up here?
A few years ago, I actually lost my home to a bad mortgage, and then I lost my job, and I headed out of town to take care of my mom down south for a couple of years. And then I came back to Michigan because my friends, my son's here, and I just wanted to try to get back in the swing, you know.
I've been working at a job for close to 4.5 years, and I felt, at least in the least sense of it, I felt underappreciated. Okay, I was doing a job that was worth substantially more money than I was receiving, and I accepted the responsibility just to be grateful for work. But it was like living from paycheck to paycheck. If I missed any significant amount of time, it would pretty much damage me for a long term. I mean, if you just miss 2 or 3 days, it takes you 3 or 4 weeks to recover the money, or to recover from the loss that you didn't make that money those 3 days. So anyhow, with that all being said, there was a difference of opinion on my hours one day, when I wanted to start. And don't come in. Matter of fact, don't come in until Monday. And I get a text message on Sunday that go ahead and take the rest of the next week off. Well, that pretty much crippled me. I had to contact my landlord, explain the situation to him, tell him that I was going to be moving out because I wasn't going to fall behind on my rent. I did all the work on the apartment, got my full security deposit back, and then I ventured out on my own and wound up in a homeless shelter, which was one before the one that I'm at right now. And while I was there, I enrolled in a government grant course through Macomb County Community College and MTech. And the biggest part of that was, the best part of it was, it didn't cost me a dime. All I had to do was show up. Well, I had 3 hots in the cot, and I showed up. Got all my grades and all my attendance, my certificates. I passed the course with flying colors. I'm presently looking for work. I got some good offers on the table right now, and it's just, I'm coming around the corner. I'm about to leave Matt's, and things are looking really good.
We having to take the bus around, having to try to go from church to church before I found the Salvation Army here. But it's not a good feeling.
But I bounced around for a minute, going from job to job, but I always worked. So I mean, you know, I'm just one of those thousands of people out there that are doing whatever they have to do and happy to have a job and go to work every day. But when one little bolt comes loose and the wheel flies off, it takes a whole lot of work to get it back on track. And it's not as easy as some people would like for it to be, or that other people might think. It really can devastate you as far as your way of life and the things that you have on a daily basis when they're not there anymore. You know, I gave up everything. I lost my furniture and the whole 9 yards. I was able to salvage a little bit of money out of it, but it was only about 15% of what I paid for it. So I mean, you know, but I did it with the endeavor that I was going to better myself. So I'm working at it.
It was more or less the collapse, and I was actually just trying to get some money for my house to do some remodeling. And I signed a bad loan.
Signed a bad loan.
Yeah, this bank, they did a number on me, you know, so I lost my job. And they really wouldn't work with me. So they come to foreclosure, you know.
Now, do you remember your darkest day, your lowest hour? Do you remember what you considered rock bottom?
There's a lot of levels of rock bottom in my life, brother. Okay, I'm a recovering addict and an alcoholic. So I've got that aspect of it.
Were you ever out on the street? Did you ever spend a night on the bench?
I've been there, yeah. I've been there. I've slept in the bush. I've walked the street, picked a lock on an abandoned building and slept in there for days. Yeah, I've done it. I can't speak for other people and
For
what
yourself.
it does to them. For me, I wasn't, dude, you back me into a corner. You can knock me down, but you can't keep me out of it again. I got to get back up. I was raised that way. I don't know how people feel about it nowadays. I see a lot of people that have been slapped down so many times that they don't feel like getting back up anymore. And unfortunately, it happens all too often, more than it should. I mean, but if you get knocked down and there's nothing there, there's no safety net or nobody to at least offer you an opportunity to hang in, hang out, and hang on so that you can start over. Okay, I'm gonna throw one out there that I heard at the table the other day, and it's just like, hey, listen, man, why are we spending all of this money in third world countries and everything else when we got our own third world problems here? You know, and it used to be, people used to see somebody down on their luck in America, and we would reach out and help any way we could because we all ran together. And, you know, that's where I grew up. I mean, you know, just, it was the 50s and the 60s, and your neighbors came over and said hello, and you had Sunday dinner and barbecued in the backyard and pissed and moaned and bitched about each other's kids. And, you know, that was it. But if you had a problem, and your neighbors knew about it, they came and helped you. So, I mean, I don't see as much of that in the world today. I miss it. I think it's needed now more than ever. So, if anybody out there is listening, do something. Don't just walk away and say, man, you know, that's sad. It's only sad if we let it stay that way. You know? Helping other people, it's not a bad thing, and it's not really all that hard. You know, even if it is just stopping and listening to somebody and maybe buying them a burger. I'm not saying throw money at them. Give them a hand up, not a hand out, you know. Help them find a job. Let them cut your grass. Let them clean your gutters. Let them take out your garbage or something once a week, you know, so that the guy has a few bucks and a little bit of self-respect. There's the majority of these people in here, they don't want a handout. They want a hand up. They want to get back in the game.
What's going to get you to tomorrow?
Oh, just being alive when you wake up, you know, it's a good feeling. You know, I thank God every day for that. And I have a lot of acquaintances, a lot of friends, people who I think really care. Just wake up every day and go for it, you know. Try to do the best you can.
That's right.
With what you got. It's hard to work with people now, you know. Some people are different, but yeah. Just breathing and being able to move, you know, you count those blessings.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciated that.
Sure.
Wake up every day and go for it. Does this sound like a man who's lazy? There are over 600,000 homeless people in the United States. Is it really feasible that all these people are lazy substance abusers? Signing a bad loan can happen to any of us. After the economic collapse, many of us were sent to a negative spiral. Not everyone had the fortune to pull through. For some people, the recession has turned into a depression. Did any of these two men ask for money? Can you spare $2 on a cheeseburger and a Coke with a man on the street? Imagine the stories they might tell. Ask a man for a story and you should consider yourself the one benefiting. His story may prevent you from falling in the same trap as he did. Quite possibly the most powerful message I could reconvey from these fine men. It's only sad if we let it stay that way. Please don't let it stay that way.
Close your eyes and just hear me sing one last long goodbye, one last song before you spread your wings.